Behold, the world's strongest phone, apparently. The Oukitel. This one is WP18. And it is just supposed to be a very strong, rugged phone. It's a heavy lump. Also, it's supposed to have a ridiculously long battery life, and you can use it as a power bank to charge other devices as well. So that's a USB-C port down at the bottom there. This one is completely dead. It's not doing anything. I've had it on charge for about 45 minutes and it's drawing. It is taking a charge from here. But what happens is it shows an empty battery and then a few seconds later it will go to, I think it's 99 or 100% full, but it doesn't come on. So if you have a look here, it will, there you go. So it shows it's empty. It's drawing nearly half an amp. Then it will go to 99 and then it will just go off. 100, and it's gone off there. But now it's still drawing at 0.8, and it's at 100% there. But yeah, I've left it plugged in for about 45 minutes, and when I turn it on here, it doesn't matter if I tap it or hold it down, it shows no sign of life whatsoever. So yeah, it's they're still about £150 on Amazon, so it probably is actually worth fixing. Now, the hard thing here is, I think it's going to be a battery issue, maybe, or something to do with the charging. The problem is trying to get into this thing, because I'm worried that I'll probably smash the screen in the process of getting into it. I couldn't find a teardown video on this particular one, but I found teardown videos on other models, and you've got to take the screen off and you get into them from here. Because if you have a look, can you see that this is all moulded? This is all one bit. Now, they're waterproof, it says here IP68, and I suppose if you were to drop it on its edges, it's probably going to be fine. But on one of the reviews, somebody had a smashed screen. If you're unlucky enough and you have a stone like this and you drop this on there, that's still going to smash, isn't it? So yeah, it's not going to be completely indestructible, but maybe if you worked on a building site and you want to have your phone for good use, you could have this as a second phone, your work phone maybe, especially with the really long battery life. So I'm going to apply some heat to it. I probably will break this in the process of taking it off, but I'll do my best not to. And I'm not used to working on phones, but I have got this tiny little one here. So what I might do is heat it up, and I might see if I can prise that underneath it here. Now, I add a fair bit of heat to this. I haven't got a heating mat. It would be easier if I did, but I'm still putting a fair bit of heat into this. The screen's not budging whatsoever. So I tried prying from the bottom using various different tools. I'm just very wary about using metal, because metal and glass will break so quick. This is like a rubber lip around it to give it protection, but because of that I can't really get under the rubber to get under the glass, so it's an awkward one. Anyway, I sort of come to my senses and think it is charging, and maybe this is just a flat battery, so maybe it just needs to be left plugged in for a long time. Just going to see what this is worth in CEX. Right, okay, this is the 4GB 32 one. A C condition one is 68 quid. B condition, £78, £88. Okay, so they are actually worth a little bit of money. Let me just see how much they charge for a trade-in. Yeah, cash £42, trade-in voucher £52. Right, okay. I'm wondering if I should just leave it charging for ages to see if it comes to life or not, or is there some short that's causing that? Why is it going from 0 to 100%? Doesn't seem right. So I am going to just leave it charging for quite a long time, because there's no point in breaking it unnecessarily, especially if I can get some easy money for it.
A little while later.
Right, it's many hours later, and probably about 4 or 5 hours later. And I've had it plugged into a main charger into the wall. I've just brought it back over here for the video. It's doing the same thing as it was before. So basically it's still not turning on. And when I plug this in, it will still be battery flat. And then it will show 100%. So there you go. And a few seconds later, it will go to 100%. There you go. Yeah. So that's certainly not right. I have to get into this now. So if I break it, I break it. It's not working as it is, yeah? I feel better now because I know 100% somebody has to get into this. So if I break it, well, it's already broken. It's no good to anybody. So now I'm not going to feel bad smashing the screen, getting into it, because I had to get into it to be able to fix it. My word, I've got a little bit under. Might be easier now because I'm over the lip on that. Oh wow, I'm over the lip on that part. Right, okay, let's leave that here. Now let's add some heat again. So I had to use the stronger tool. I was worried I was going to break it. Result, unbelievable. I didn't actually think I'd be able to get into that. Right now, what we got here, we have got a screen ribbon cable just here with a tiny little warranty sticker on. I presume it's going to be Phillips underneath that. It's funny to put the warranty sticker there, isn't it? I suppose where else could they put it? Right, is this going to unclip? Yes, it is. Yes, we did it. There we go. Well, I definitely think I'm the first person in here anyway. Right now, the world's strongest phone. Let's see what happens when we get into it. So we've got a load of little crosshead screws in here. Well, with all this, it's definitely well sealed, isn't it? From the outside, if it's well sealed to the actual circuit board on the inside. Right, some screws are longer than others, so I better keep them separate. Right, I think that's undone. Well, we have another ribbon cable up the top here underneath this thing. I don't know what that is. Maybe some sort of light sensor or something. I think it's just stuck. There. There we go. Look at that. It's nice. Aluminium, I think. Very light. Now, look at the size of that battery. It's an absolute monster. So, the battery's connected just here. Screen's connected here. Then we've got a ribbon cable connecting top and bottom. So if I was to just take the battery off, maybe we can test on here what sort of voltage we've got in the battery. I am just going to go onto the outer two on either top or bottom. In fact, it says there, doesn't it? Battery minus, battery plus, and T would be, I presume, a temperature probe. So let's go on the outer two and see what voltage we have. And in fact, what should we have here? Charging voltage 4.45. So it's 3.87 volt battery, so it's just a normal lithium, isn't it? It's absolutely huge. .4, that is full. So we have a full battery, yet it's not turning on. Interesting. So it has been charging then. So when it says 100%, it's probably not lying. Unless I wonder, by disconnecting and connecting everything up, will it just start working? Did it just sort of need some hard reset by taking off the battery? Well, I can't see any water damage or anything like that, so I think we'll just plug the battery back in and see if it starts working. Let's just screen back on. That's the battery back on. Now let's see, are you going to turn on? Maybe the power button's gone. Maybe we'll test the power button. So we're still not turning on. Right. Where are you, power button? You're here. Which I think runs up that ribbon cable and goes to this part of the board here. There. Now I'm not going to know which one is the power. So this is power. It comes up here into this board. Has to come out here onto here. But we've got about 10 connectors there. 1, 2, 3, 4, roughly. Yeah, 10. So that's going to be 2 for this. Why have we got so many? Let's see if we can take it out. No, I think it goes underneath this board here, so I can't take it out. Unless I take out this board up here. Right, let's take out the SIM card slot. So it's dual SIM. Now I can't yank it out because there's a ribbon cable connecting it. So I think I have to remove the battery. Probably easier said than done. Right, it's loose at the bottom, not loose at the top. Oh, there we go. Wow, that's absolutely huge. Look at the width of that. Maybe it really is 12,500 milliamp hours. It's lovely. That's where most of the weight comes from. Right, okay, so we have this button down here that goes to here. So I have to take out this one. But we've got an antenna that goes up around here, so I have to take that out first, probably. Oh, wait a minute, maybe you can take out the whole thing. Yes, okay, here we go. Got a load of clips. My word, they're everywhere. So it's got 2 cameras. That must be a little flash. Okay, so that's that out with a load of connectors, must be for some sort of aerials or something. Now, I can disconnect this. Yes, we can. Well, I'm confused to what the problem could be, because we have a full battery and everything appears okay. Ah, I've pulled off the little connector here. Ah, this one here. Okay, I'll have to sort that out. So it's good that there's no fake cameras. So why are you not turning on? I think we need to connect it to a laptop and see what it's doing. See if it's recognised. Because I had some Blackview phones and I think they needed reflashing. So I don't have to connect that because that's just an additional button. Let's just connect what we need to connect. So we need to connect the screen and the battery, and then I'm going to plug it into the computer to see what's happening. Also, before I do that, I'll get the FLIR cam on it. I also have to plug in this, don't I? The power button. Do you know what? Maybe it is something to do with the power button. Let's see if we can work it out. Because although there's 10 connectors, there's not 10 things coming up. You know, most of these are going to be in contact with each other, I would say. So, can you see they're mostly ground? So all I'd really have to do is I've got to go across 1, 2, 3, 4. And that makes sense, doesn't it? Because there's going to be a power button, a ground, and then 2 volume buttons. So if I was to do this, I still need an extra pair of hands. So I'm going to put that in between there because I know I'm going to be nicely on the grounds then, and we'll start from here and we'll see what button that is. Top one. Why does it stay on for so long? What? No, I'm hitting against that, sorry. Wait a minute. Don't understand, that's not ground, is it? Well, that doesn't appear to be ground unless this is my problem. Maybe the buttons are being grounded all the time. Well, that's really strange because when we first all went on that, it wasn't shorted, and then I press one of the buttons and it becomes shorted. So that's a little bit odd because this all looks kind of immaculate. But anyway, after probably about 15 minutes of messing with it, I eventually discovered this. This one here is the power button, by the way. Oh, 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 oh. Yes, 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 we found a problem. Fantastic. Corrosion. Corrosion. Ah, my old friend corrosion. Yes. So water has got into this IP rated phone. Interesting. Well, there you go. It can't turn on because this is so corroded. It's not connecting this outer ring to this ring. So let's just see now. Let's zoom out a little bit. The middle one should be connected, I presume, to this one here. The outer one is going to be connected to the ground. So if I go here, that should be here. Which it is. Yeah. And then if I go on the outer one, which I think was here, that should be connected to here. Sorry, get out of the way. Get out of the way. There, but not there. Oh, amazing. We found a problem. Oh, yes. Hopefully it might be fixable because we've got a good battery life in this. You know, we've got a good, you know, it's 4.4 volts or something really high. Well, I suppose first things first, I'll get the IPA on it. And then I'll have to probably get the grinding pen on it to try to... IPA might clean it. Well, how good is that? It reminds me of the Lamborghini phone, a dodgy power switch, but this one is corrosion based and not a bit of plastic which is broken off. So yeah, I love seeing stuff like that. So that's why I suppose when I was messing with it, all of a sudden I had a short, because maybe the corrosion was causing some short, or maybe the button stuck down. Weirdly though, when that short came, I was on the volume up button, which is very bizarre. But anyway, this corrosion shouldn't be there. So I clean it with IPA and it doesn't make much of a difference, as you can imagine. And then I use a little grinding pin on it, but just ever so slightly. I'm really just using it gently on it. You could use a fiberglass pen on this. Most people would prefer it if I did. It's just that my hands don't prefer it because those fibers on me really irritate me, and I think other people as well. So I'm just using the grinding pen, but I emphasize very lightly on it. And then I need to put some Captain tape around it, and then we can test it. But happy days, it's a faulty button, and with all the cleaning up, I'm pretty confident that when we click this button in, because it's still clicky, this little metal plate that's all corroded, that it will short between the middle contact and the outer contact. If I go here, I've got to be gentle, and here, which is the on, listen. Result. I think it's going to be okay. Right, so we need to try to put this back together and see if it's going to liven up now. Now the power button's corroded, so maybe the volume buttons are corroded as well, but they do look perfect. The power button did look a little bit discoloured. Anyway, just out of curiosity, I take off one of the volume buttons just to see, and it's absolutely perfect underneath. So put a bit of Captain tape on that one, and now annoyingly we have to move on to that little antenna lead, either Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or maybe both, and I've got to try to put the connector on the end of it. Annoyingly, I've got to do something with this wire as well because I messed it up. Now, as you can imagine, something so small will take the microscope to even attempt to try and fix it. This wire, although it is minuscule, it looks like a tiny telephone wire, it is actually a coax wire, meaning that it's got a central core and an outer core. So there's like a, imagine like your old TV aerial cables. There's a center core going down the middle, and then there's braiding which goes around the outside. So you can't just put the connector onto the end. The middle wire has to go into the middle of the connector. The outer wire has to be crimped onto the outer bit of the connector. Super small and fiddly, like unbelievably small and fiddly. Anyway, let's go over to the microscope. No. Does this middle bit come out? Oops. So I'm just trying to work out where the middle core of this coax cable actually solders or crimps onto. Oh, is it just that tiny, tiny, tiny little bit here? I think it is. Wow. Probes can't even get in there, it's so small. I need to somehow get it in there. I think maybe that drops in and then that gets crimped around. I wonder, could I open it up a little bit? There we go, look, it's coming out. Just hope I don't lose it. So I have to connect it onto, is it that bit there? I think so. Wait a minute now. So, I'm fine with that. Let's see what's happening on the other side of this. Oh. Really? That? I'm going to be able to get it on there. I wonder, does it separate more? Does this thing, is this supposed to come out from here? This is super small, even through the microscope I can't really see what's going on. Right, okay, I think I'm going to end up losing that. I think what we'll have to do is try to get on the blue tack. I don't actually know how this is even possible. See, I can't strip this back, otherwise the middle's going to short straight against the actual outer clamp. Ah, here we go. There we go. It is in 2 bits. Fantastic. Wow. Okay, well, you live and learn now. I know now. Right, so I have to try to get that wire onto there. Which is easier said than done. I'm going to try to take it out completely. There we go. Worst case scenario, I'm sure you can buy one of these wires, but let's see if we can fix this. Now, I can't really stretch it, so I'm just going to have to try to put this on here. So if I put it on here, then I can clamp the... Oh, there you go. You can see the inner sheath there. Can you see it's... let's try to sort this out a bit, because I can't have that wire going back. You can see a little bit of plastic here, the insulation here, so that's fine. So I soldered this bit on, and the clamp needs to go onto that bit there. So I'm just using my nail to try to get all the bits forward. There we go, so that shouldn't be on anything else. So now we can try to solder it onto there. I'm just going to tin up this. Just need to do the very tip. We can check for a short afterwards, because the middle thing shouldn't be connected to the sheath on the other side. I wonder if I should be using the micro one for this. There we go, that was nice. So now I need to somehow tap it onto that. There. And now if I could heat this up and put it in here, it might work. I think that's it. Right, so let's see if we've got a short right now. Here. No. Brilliant, so we haven't got a short there. Good. I've got to try to close the lid. Now, how am I going to stop that from shorting? I'll tell you how. I'm going to use some liquid tape. It's like a liquid rubber that sets hard, really useful for keeping electrical connections insulated, and also smells of shoe goo as well, which brings me right back to my skateboarding days when I was a kid, because we used to use shoe goo to repair your trainers, because back then skateboarding trainers used to be 40, 50, 60 pounds. Back then, in the 1980s and 1990s, that was serious money back then. So you had to get as much use out of them as possible. So some people really would be walking around with shoes that were more shoe goo than actual trainers. Anyway, in real life, this probably takes me a good 20 minutes extra. But yeah, I managed to get a bit of solder from the braid onto the connector. And then I'm just going to show you at the very end, we shouldn't have a short between that little middle pin and the outer connector. If I've got a short, it means I've done something wrong. No. Does it go here to here? Yes. So it's not going to be short in here. Yes, listen to that. So we've got it here to here. Yeah. Not to here. And we got that. Result. Leave that. I'm taking that as a win there. Hopefully when I click it in, it will still be okay. I'll click in this side first and I can test that side. Well, believe it or not, I'm proud as punch with that little coaxial cable there. So I know it looks a bit messy, but I'm sure it's going to work just fine. Anyway, I'm reinstating everything now because we found the problem on the power button. And it all makes sense. So watch carefully what I'm doing now, because this bit here has just changed the course of the rest of my day. It's times like this where I really do question my life choices. Oh, I don't believe it. After all my hard work. Oh, I don't believe... Oh, for God's sake. Oh, no. Oh, I've broken that off. I was trying to line this up and I was concentrating on all the other cables. Ah, it's game over. Oh, honestly, I don't believe that. I can't fix that. Oh, how heartbreaking. And I was enjoying that fix so much.
Ha ha.
Oh man, you don't understand how disappointing that is. Honestly. That is absolutely heartbreaking. I can't fix that. It's too fine. Oh, it's a bit of a pig. It wasn't seating in here right. I had it in and the cameras weren't lined up, and I took it out and took it out again, and this was forced down and broke. Absolutely gutted. Oh well. Needs to show my failures, other people wouldn't. Oh, I'm so disappointed in that. I could cry. I just wanted a successful video. Been up against it recently with my videos. Oh man. Alright, let's get back under the microscope. Oh, I'm so peed off at that. I can't tell you. Right. Oh God, I even managed to break the connector. I haven't just ripped it off, I've broken the connector as well. So disappointed. Not even sure if that will fit in the other one now. Which side did it rip off from? It was this side here, wasn't it? I can't even see where the wires go. There's nothing there. Well, it was this one here which was the on and off switch. I forget which the others were now. The volume was down here somewhere. Oh. Right, Vince, you've got two options. You can go into a corner and cry, or you can get your soldering iron out, your 0.1mm enamelled wire, and try and fix it. I chose to go into the corner and cry. And then after I had a good chat to myself, I got the enamelled wire out and I'm going to try and fix it. So what follows now you would think would be about 15 minutes work. It's only 4 wires, it's not that big a deal. Don't ask me how. These things just seem to take hours. Honestly, by the time you're waiting for all the solder mask to go off and stuff. And with something like this, often you've got to put on a wire and then use solder mask, let that set, then put on the next wire. Because you see, you're talking about wires that are so close to each other, it's also easy for the soldering iron just to slip. And even just the heat from one can end up taking the other wire off. They're super small, 0.1mm. If you're not sure how small that is, get a ruler out and then have a look at how big 1 centimetre is, and then divide that by 10, that will be 1mm, and divide that by 10 again. That's how big this wire is. Tiny. Anyway, that's what I do. While I'm doing that, I'm going to give a shout out to the My Mate Vince Massive. The Massive members this month are kitdigital.com, Kip Hakes on YouTube, Max Rokotansky, Chris Seal, Felipe at MrKeebs.com, DJ VG, Pigsy, Anthony Dean, Russ Melanson, Shigate, Rickard Berglund, Soul Reaver 555, Shamsa Al Sawadi, Stuart Park, Stephen from the Broken Past on YouTube, Lee Benz, 360 Picture UK, and Niall Stone. So a massive thanks as always to each and every one of you. Right now, I'm actually quite happy with how this has turned out. So let me show you it now when the solder mask has gone off. Okay, I've put the UV light on it for a little while. It could do with being a bit harder. I'm just slightly wary. There's so much solder mask around here now. I don't know if it's going to clip into here or not. If it does clip in, I can put more light on it. So now I need to. Do you know what? It's so annoying because this, I'm always on about like I'm unlucky with my fixes, but this was the perfect fix. Corrosion on here. Yeah, it was a bit of a battle getting into it. That was like the perfect YouTube video. Me ballsing up that, and now that as well is just so gutting because I've made what could be a good video and a relatively short video and possibly one that would get views into something that's going to be too long and it's not even going to be satisfying to watch, which is a real shame. A real shame, honestly. I'm gutted. Right, okay, so I need to put this into here. Hope I don't break anything else now. Obviously if I'd done loads of these I'd be more aware of things. Right, are they going to click in? Yes, yes, yes. Right, I've got to be super careful of everything now. Right, they're in. That's annoyingly stuck to that again. So I have to try to get this under here while not damaging my new connector. It's not going to happen. These annoying things are in the way. These stop the SIM card and the headphone jack from falling out, the covers. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. No way. Oh no. No, 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 no. I could cry. Look what I've done. Have a quick guess. Guess what I could have done. I've spent a good hour or more soldering that up. And guess what I could have done. Oh. Oh my word. How did I do that? Put it on the wrong way round.
Ha ha.
Oh. How did I do that? I don't think the wires are going to be strong enough to allow that to turn. Don't know if I'm going to have enough slack. Which way should I turn it? Ah, oh, how unlucky. I think it's time. I'm gonna turn it. It's gonna snap, and I'm not doing any more. I've already spent hours on this. I don't think it's gonna snap. Oh, it's so delicate. What a mess. Oh my god, it's in. But I'm not sure if the wires are connected. Tell you what we'll do, let's forget about the aerial for a moment. Let's see if we're going to have anything out of this. Right, here we go. Oh my god. Well, hold on. It came on without me touching anything. Maybe it's always on. Let's just see. Maybe my power button's constantly on. Yeah, I think it's constantly on, isn't it? Oh, we got some life out of it. You know, if I was thinking about my life choices earlier on in the video, imagine how I feel now. The wires are all over the place. I end up having shorts and stuff. So anyway, I take it out again, and this time I make sure, hindsight's a great thing, I make sure I put it on the right way round. I don't know why that didn't even enter my head, which way round it went. Honestly, it didn't even enter into my head to check which way round it went. I just, I don't know, I think it's because it had the metal on the other side. I thought, well, it can't be that side, but clearly it can be that side, can't it? It's just that I can't solder onto that side. So I spend another possible hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, getting this put back on the right way. Of course, that's all going to be cut from this video. I'm just showing you a little bit of footage now while I'm doing the voiceover. So the next time you see this, it will be on the correct way. Let's see now if it's going to work. Okay, I've done it again, and I've done a better job this time. You can see I've wrapped it in Captain tape, and it is the correct way round. So hopefully now I'll be able to get that on. It's amazing how incredibly small everything is. Hopefully I'll be able to get that on now, and we'll see if it works or not. So next time you see this, I'll have it back together, off sorts, and then yeah, I'll turn it on live. Turn on automatically. Come on, please. Please, 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 please don't go off. Please, 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 please. Please, 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 please. Oh, I don't think it's ever lasted this long. It's never lasted this long. Do something more. Yes, yes, yes. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Don't crash there. Have you crashed? Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Oh my word. It's in a different language. Sex? What? Oh my word. Why has it gone off already? Ah, oh, is volume working? Oh my word. Okay, volume's only going down. I don't really care though. Maybe the wires are probably touching each other. Okay, I don't care about that because we can always move it here anyway. I am going to make sure the wires are not touching each other because I think the volume is, one of them's touching the other one, I think. I am going to put liquid tape on them, and then I'm going to get the glue to put all around the edge here. Let me show you the glue. So I'm going to use this and some liquid tape. Let's see if we can get this going again. Right, let me turn it off. Fantastic. I've got to get it set to English as well. Oh, amazing. Somehow, you're not going to believe this, but against all the odds, the volume appears to be working. I have to press in quite hard, but yes. Well, it's Portuguese apparently. I'm trying to find out how to change the language, but I'm struggling at the moment, so I'm using my phone to translate. And hopefully I'll find it. At long last, I can show you a phone working in English. So it all appears to be doing what it needs to do. Camera works front and back, Bluetooth works, Wi-Fi works. So when I go into the internet, you can see here BBC. It's a little bit slow, a little bit more sluggish than my phone, but it's doing what it needs to do. So every time I tap on something, it just seems to take that little bit longer to go through than it would do on my phone. But it does what it needs to do, and I presume the battery life is going to be insane on this because I've never seen a battery so big, and I think it would be pretty rugged and waterproof as well. How it failed there when it's IP68 rated, we don't know the background. I think that rating means that it can go maybe a metre or a metre and a half underwater for about 30 minutes. Maybe it was underwater for longer than that in a puddle somewhere, or maybe it was being used in, I don't know, like a car wash or something like that. And if you had a Karcher pressure washer on that button there, even maybe for a few seconds, it might be enough to get in there, because maybe that creates a lot more pressure than just that 1 meter submerged in water. So we don't actually know the background of it. It may not have necessarily failed. It might have been used in an environment it wasn't designed for. We don't know. Anyway, it beat me up good and proper. What makes it more upsetting, it was all my own doing. This would have been a lovely YouTube video. Wasn't that hard to get into, and it would have been a perfect fix because everything else seems to be working. But between me messing up the cable here, then ripping the cable off, and the worst for me was soldering on the wrong way. What was I thinking? Why didn't I even check that, to then have to go through it all again? But even after all that, now that I've got it working, what is probably equally upsetting is that I had a look on eBay and they didn't have any spares. But now after I fixed it, I've gone onto AliExpress and check this out. I can actually buy one for only £3.28 plus 65p tax. So yeah, 100% that is the correct ribbon cable there. So all that work, and I could have had an intact one for £4 UK. So this is what I'm going to do is, I've just double-sided the screen in for the moment. I haven't glued it in. I'm buying one of these because then I don't believe my fix is going to last very long. And then when I get the proper ribbon cable in, it won't take long now that I know how it all comes apart. I'm going to glue the screen in. And I do think that this will be a proper functioning phone again. So yeah, I made it into a bit of a horror show, but at least I can show you a working product at the end. I hope you still got some enjoyment from it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. And I will hopefully see you next time on a more successful fix, hopefully very soon. Fingers crossed. Take care, everyone.